In other local news, since the report of the Committee on Public Enterprises, or the COPE report, was tabled in Parliament on the 1st of December, News First has continuously highlighted the revelations contained in the report. Tonight, on our special segment COPE Revelations, we take a look at the revelations made with regard to the Ceylon Fisheries Corporation and the Ceylon Fishery Harbours Corporation. The Committee on Public Enterprises, or COPE, states that the debt recovery process of the Ceylon Fisheries Corporation is unsatisfactory. The COPE report notes that as at the 31st of December 2009, the miscellaneous debt amount of the Ceylon Fisheries Corporation indicated an astounding 43 million rupees. The report also notes that the corporation had failed to recover assets amounting to more than 50 million rupees, which had been transferred to the Ceylon Fisheries Harbours Corporation. COPE has called for a detailed report to be submitted within 3 months. Meanwhile, the report also highlights some of the administrative failings of the Ceylon Fisheries Harbours Corporation. The report notes that despite spending a sum of 224 million rupees on the Chilao Fisheries Harbour, no productive purpose has been served by it. Furthermore, the report states that the corporation had paid 2,791,215 rupees as a 60% payment to a private company to supply 8 tanks valued at 5,095,075 rupees each to the corporation, but these tanks have not been supplied as yet. The COPE report adds that the files relating to this transaction had not been submitted for auditing. The matter has been referred to the Criminal Investigations Department and the Attorney General. However, the committee directed the Chief Accounting Officer to hold an impartial inquiry and to take action against the officers concerned. Meanwhile, the committee further notes that action had not been taken by the Ceylon Fisheries Harbours Corporation to correct shortcomings pointed out by the COPE at the previous meeting. Incidentally, the expenditure heads of the Ministry of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, under whose jurisdiction both these institutions fall, were taken up for debate in Parliament today.
During the time period in question, the Ministry of Fisheries recruited 1,000 to 1,200 individuals. I am not against the recruitment of individuals, that should be stated very clearly. How will these individuals contribute to the progress of the Ministry of Fisheries? Today, the Fisheries Corporation cannot even pay the wages of its employees. The Christmas season and the New Year is coming up. They haven't even thought of paying the bonuses. In the last COPE report, attention was clearly focused on the Nara Institute. The institute has not adhered to tender procedures. The COPE report states that the Nara Institute had acted on its whims and fancies.
When
I took over the ministry, the loss stood at 103 million last year. We reduced it to 59 million, and this year we were able to reduce this to 23 million. Based on the COPE report, articles have been published in the report stating that 2 of my corporations are loss-making institutes. Taking into account the standing of these institutes, we were not able to make it profitable overnight. However, we have reduced the loss considerably.
Minister of Construction, Engineering Services, Housing and Common Amenities, Vimal Weerawansa, says that despite there have been several governments in the past, only the current government has been able to solve the problems of the public. The minister made this statement at an event held in Kolonava today.
මීට කලින් තිබිච්ච බොහෝ ආණ්ඩු මේ රටේ පොදු ජනතාවගේ ප්‍රශ්න
Several governments which existed in the past made it their duty to ensure the continuity of the problems facing the people instead of solving them. So these problems over time developed into conflicts, and this in turn created obstacles to the forward journey of the nation.
මේ රටේ ඉදිරි ගමනට විශාල බාධාකාරී ලෙස වාතාවරණය සකස් වුණා.
A discussion was held at the Mahawali Centre in Colombo today in order to promote language rights in Sri Lanka. The event was held under the auspices of Minister of National Languages and Social Integration, Vasudeva Nanayakkara.
A group including politicians and intellectuals participated in the discussion, which was organized by the Centre for Policy Alternatives. At the event, Attorney-at-Law S.G. Punchiheva expressed his views while passing around a few currency notes to be inspected by the audience. In the currency notes I sent around, there is a line which says that the currency note is valid in Sri Lanka to pay any amount. If that same line is printed in Tamil as well in those notes, you can keep it. If not, send it back to me. The notes have been issued on the 1st of January 2010. The decision was made by the ministry in 2009. This is the attitude. The problem is, how do we change this? No further details are needed. The attitude is clear from that itself.
If a language is not respected and accorded the place within a society, then there is almost a direct insult, a rebuke, a derogation of the identity of the people who speak that language. I would truly like to see the kind of apotheosis of our commitment towards language rights in this country, a time when we will sing our national anthem, one verse in one official language and the other in the other. It is done in other countries. There is absolutely no reason as to why it can't be done here. That, at the end of the day, will be the autograph of a truly plural and democratic Sri Lanka.
There were ministries and departments. Certain activities were conducted by them. However, steps were not taken to resolve the challenge posed by this problem. If a person knows Sinhala, even if that person is Tamil, he will have to continue to work in Sinhala. On our side, there are wrong attitudes and a lack of awareness. There is inefficiency in the state sector. On one hand, there is the inability to use the departments, and on the other hand, some people have attitudes against this. Therefore, the procedure is slow, but there is a transformation. The world rotates very slowly. We don't even feel it. However, there is no use in such a slow transformation. I admit that.
Good evening and welcome to Sports First. Kumar Sangakkara is a doubtful starter for the opening test against South Africa, scheduled to be played on the 15th of December due to injury. However, Sri Lanka Cricket stated that Sangakkara might have a chance, as the doctors have spoken of a possible recovery by then. Meanwhile, we contacted the chairman of the selection committee, Dulip Mendis, with regard to the injured Nuwan Pradeep and Kumar Sangakkara.
It has been reported that Kumar Sangakkara experienced a splitting of the webbing on his right hand during a 3-day warm-up match yesterday. Sri Lanka Cricket stated that Kumar Sangakkara will be fit enough to play when it is time for the match, and chairman of Sri Lanka Cricket Selection Committee Dulip Mendis also mentioned this. When we inquired whether replacement players will be named for the injured Nuwan Pradeep, Dulip Mendis said that they will arrive at a decision within the next 3 days. After an MRI scan and examination, team physio Stephen Mount stated that Nuwan Pradeep will be unable to play for another 3 to 4 weeks.
The Tier B Group B match of the Premier Limited Over Cricket Tournament between Sri Lanka Air Force Sports Club and Sri Lanka Ports Authority Cricket Club ended with no result due to rain. Former Sri Lankan cricketer and renowned batsman Sanath Jayasuriya represented the Sri Lanka Air Force team in this match.
The match was played at the BRC grounds and was reduced to 36 overs per side owing to a delayed start due to rain. Batting first, the Sri Lankan Air Force Sports Club were bowled out for 173 runs in 35.4 overs. Opener Sanath Jayasuriya scored 23 runs, which included 2 sixers and a 4. Ajit Emmanuel top scored for Sri Lanka Air Force with 33 runs, and Shanuka Disanayaka bagged 4 wickets for Sri Lanka Ports Authority. No further play was possible due to rain, and the match ended without a result.
Well, that's a wrap of your primetime news bulletin here on Channel 1 MTV. But if you missed any of the stories, you can log on to newsfirst.lk. I'm Krishni Panitharatna.
And I'm Rameshwar Galbandara. Good night.